So, myself have backed Trump since I've known who he was. I actually did watch a lot of the Apprentice show. It was on TV, and that was what we watched at night. So I'm more than familiar with who Trump is. I've got an idea at least. And as far as Camel is concerned, I have no idea who she is. Other than she ruined California, and that's about enough. That's enough for me to draw a conclusion that Trump's better. No matter what, if I know something's right, I stand behind it. So I didn't really have a choice. I just kind of had to do what I had to do, and it's only come out like more and more. So every day lately, it's been more apparent that I was right, you know. And there's a lot of people that have tried to paint me, you know, the same way they try to paint Trump. They try to just make me out to be racist, you know, and say all kinds of nonsense about me. And now I'm a targeted individual, right? And it's because they thought I was racist, or I don't know what it is, but I think I was already a target, and then I tried to be spoken on the George Floyd case. And without diving into that too much, I am most certainly not racist, but I wanted everybody to keep to themselves on the George Floyd thing. Like, look, that didn't happen in your neighborhood. You don't have or live in the same neighborhood. So for you to go out and, you know, break into local shops, maybe they're mom and pop stores, maybe not. Whatever the deal is, you're still robbing the wrong people. You're taking all the wrong money from all the wrong people. So I was always against anything. You know, you gotta let it play out. Let's take this guy to court. You know, typically we do well in court, and if it doesn't go well in court, you know, then you can raise hell. But anyways, I was outspoken about that. Everybody's called Trump racist, and then I was even against Obama, just because it's like, look, you know, he doesn't even really seem black to me. He just doesn't. If I was black, I would even be looking at that guy like, eh. And I even hear that if you're a cream black person, that black people kind of miss. They don't exactly place full trust in cream black people as full black. It's, come on, like, if you know anything about black people, you know they know all of the shades, and I'm not even touching on it. Like, I'm scratching the surface of the tip of the iceberg when I start talking about this stuff. And people say I have no interactions with black people living in Phoenix, Arizona, and like, people like, come on, if there's anybody in Phoenix, drop a comment if you're black, because there is plenty of black people in the Phoenix area, the whole valley, anywhere in the valley. It don't matter what side of the valley you're on, there's plenty of black people. I mean, sure that, you know, there's areas where there's a bunch of white people, but it's the same thing. It's no different. I even looked up the stats. Whoever was telling me that, I think there was more black people in Arizona than there was Washington, or they were the same. They're the same or close, maybe more in Arizona. I think I was laughing. I think I was going, yo, there's more in AZ, bro. I don't think black people like the water, like the rain so much. That may have even been part of the thing. Let's see. So, not to focus on that, but it is coming out more and more how, I mean, like, not that being gay or a homo or transgender is wrong. But it is funny because that is actually the way that you should You should do that. You shouldn't be getting the presidency because you're a homo. So I will give Obama points on that aspect, because that's even a point in a Charlie Kirk commercial where it's like, yo, yeah, the first thing you said when you came onto my podcast here is you told me your preference. And it's like, sure, this is a political podcast, but that should be the last of your concerns. That should be, oh yeah, and by the way, you've been talking to a homosexual the whole time. What do you think? That I feel like you'd get more bang for your buck if you toss that in at the end, no matter what the situation is. But here we are today, on Charlie Kirk's podcast, filming, good enough excerpt for a commercial where the guy's like, I'm a homo and I prefer, certain packages around my mouth. Let's see. I gotta be nice. It's just, if that's the first thing that comes out of your mouth as soon as you come up to a microphone, there's something, you need to rearrange your processing. There's nothing wrong with your brain. It's not a chemical imbalance. It's just you gotta work on the order of processes. That goes at the end. You save that. Don't open with that. You close with that. It's much better. Try it. So, because then it's just like, oh, you come in with shock value, and now you've lost half your ears when you could have had all the ears and then impressed everybody at the end, versus the complete opposite reaction. And now we're having a political conversation, versus we could have been productive the whole time. So I'm getting hung up because this has cost me my entire livelihood. I've blown through multiple machining jobs, metal, wood, even hanging glass in metal framework, doing the metal framework, hanging the glass, all that, making the windows. Hanging the windows in the frames. Got lost real good, well-paying jobs, plenty of hours, all kinds of overtime on the table, which would be great now because apparently you're going to get tax-free overtime. All right. So I've been targeted to smithereens because I'm racist, and this is all through the Biden and Obama administration. Okay. Well, it turns out that's the racist administration, right? Because, look at the way Obama came out, and he's blaming black people for not getting votes and not polling correctly, and he's like, we're losing the black vote, and it's just, I feel the way I feel about that, and there are people like me, but when you can't even get on YouTube without seeing some of the most reputable, most chill, most down-to-earth, most spiritual, most lovable, most relatable, coolest, funnest to listen to, funnest to watch, best to associate with black people getting on YouTube and being like, ultimate disappointment vibes, just straight up disappointment. Not only did we figure out the hard way that it's Michael Obama and Barack is a queer, or that's the worst way to say it. He's homo. And that was the first time in the office that we had that set up, but let's see. Like I said, there was that, I don't know. When do you come out and say that? Do you come out and say anything about that? It just slipped out. I think maybe they intended for it to slip out, and that's how they did it. But, oh man, for that to just come out, it's like, that's just a perfect example of how everybody was willing to just ride along with the music industry the same way Justin Bieber's kind of getting pinned. He's trying to play the innocent card, but everybody keeps pinning him back to the board like, no,